Hello, this is Tom Cloud with a special report for SRS members and listeners. Steve and I have spent quite a bit of time lately talking about things as we're concerned about what's going on in the world, certainly with all the earthquakes and hurricanes and droughts and fires. I mean, this is a different world, and certainly the coronavirus being the main thing, but it continues to make an effect on all investments, not just gold and silver, but other investments that are so important. But the main thing Steve and I talked about that we want to bring forward is what might we expect now that we see gold down for the year, we see silver down for the year, we see things like diamonds up 20, 25%. So we're seeing a divergence of the hard assets doing different things. So let's start with what's the next move in silver and where do I see it? We called it darn right when it was 14. We said it was going to go all the way to 25. It went to 28. We're talking about less than 2 years ago. And now we saw it drop from 28 all the way to 23.68 on the spot price. And then as we've seen the movement start today, September 1st, as I film this, we've seen silver take off with a 1% move up to $24.13 headed up. I think the next big move is underway. It doesn't say there's no chance it'll pull back below 23.68 and go down another dollar. I mean, there's nothing to say it can't, but I don't think it will. I think right now we're seeing some different things happen that we'll talk about. But number one, silver right now at 24.12 spot, and the premium you have to pay, and that's the bad news. The premium has come back down some from the highs of COVID, but they're still high. But why would a wholesaler give away something for, say, a dollar over spot when their cost is higher than that? So you're going to have to make yourself know that if you want to buy silver now, you're going to pay a premium and a commission that's included with if you're dealing with us at National Numismatic Associates. So, but it's worth it because look what happened. If we called that thing and it went up like a rocket, 13 to 28, and I'm predicting again that it's started again, but this time I think it's going to 32 to 34, and that move could happen as quickly as the next 6 months by March. It depends on a lot of different things in the economy, but we see things out there that we believe could make, after the 2-year move, off a year and a half, and here we think starting another 2-year move up that could take us to that number of 50 that we've talked about. The ratio on gold silver right now is 75 to 1, which is right, been where it's kind of been after it got to 107 to 1 in gold's favor. Now it's 75 to 1 and probably headed to 50 to 1, but for different reasons there too. Because remember, let's touch a minute on gold. This is very important. Now that we're under Basel III, remember, central banks buy gold. They can count it at full value using spot price to their stockholders. You can't do that with silver or anything else except government bonds. So people are going to buy gold because central banks are buying gold, and gold is an incredible buy. It's down 7% first 8 months of the year, which makes no sense whatsoever with everything going on in the world, and inflation increasing dramatically, budget deficits going through the roof, and yet we're seeing gold down. But all that is seeing it getting ready to take off, because when these central banks start, and we look at Brazil buying 300 tons, 31 tons of gold in the last 3 months. All these companies buying it, central banks. We're seeing Russia, China, Japan, and a bunch of smaller countries in Europe that are buying gold like crazy. There's no way it's not going to affect gold, and gold is a great place also. It just doesn't have the big leap right now that silver has when we hit it. But my advice is to move in just as it was 2 years ago, to hold on and wait to see if it went down, but pick your number on the spot price. Say if it goes back down below 23.68, I'm going to buy. If it goes above 25, I'm going to buy. But make you a something that you want to do, a plan. Make you a plan and be ready to execute it, because you're running out of time. It's plain and simple. The car technology is growing, and we've seen Tesla, we've seen Toyota, we've seen Cadillac advertising on the Olympics like crazy about all these electric cars. And they're going further and further, be used more and more, and every one of them have to have silver. And that's going to continue. And certainly solar panels. Look at the state of Florida, making all their energy from here forward based on solar energy. So they've got more sunshine than anybody, and they are going to use it to produce their energy for the foreseeable future. A big drag on silver as we go through the players now. There are option players pushing gold and silver both ways, but it's running out of time, because when the big investor, and this is mine and Steve's biggest point, the next move in silver especially is going to be driven by the big investor. He's coming in. Bonds are going down. Bonds have been in a big bull market, but they're going down. You want to get money out of bonds. Interest rates are going up. The deficit is going through the roof. And even at an interest rate of only 2%, on a $29 trillion budget deficit, we're looking at $600 billion just in interest. Bigger than the whole government was in 1980 when Jimmy Carter lost his election. So the bottom line is, buy silver. Premium's a little bit high, but there's no way to go around it. You can't buy it anywhere at old premiums. They don't stay around. NNA, we still get you the best deals out there. And we appreciate all the kind emails you send us and work that we're doing to hopefully make your life better by selling at such a low premium and commission compared to the market. And more than that is our service to our clients. Dan Scoggins has been with me 20-something years, an incredible guy that cares about each one of you, and Jade, and my daughter's doing some work for us now. So all these people are dedicated to customer service. That's the most important thing. So we're ready for that. As we get there, we want to mention the exports into India have plummeted. Death rates are through the roof. COVID has spread like crazy. People aren't worried about silver. They're worried about living. And as is a lot of other part of the world. So just remember, when India comes back and starts buying, which is still probably a few months away, but when it does. But the other question that came from a listener of Steve's, that's about trench storage. I know anything about it. And I do and I don't. I do know I've been around 45 years since I started this company, 47 years in the business. But trench storage is no more, make it simplistic, China taking silver to China when it's available at a price and the transport cost is low enough, and digging trenches with backhoes and putting silver in it and covering it up on government property. Then when they're ready for more with all the 1.5 billion people they have over there in cars and how quickly being built, the world going to electric cars, they're storing it up, and they've got to jump on everybody else, because this guy was asking me, he had heard that they had bought tons and tons, and they're the ones that drove it from 13 to 16 or 17 before investors came in, because they saw they couldn't compete with China's purchases. I can't verify that. I've asked, same rumor to other people I trust, but it makes sense to see trench storage for the future. So be there, and you want to be ready for it. This report today, we want to get through it in 10 minutes, and roughly where I am now, and just to come in and talk to you. We haven't talked to you in a while, and we are looking at something that we hope to announce to you in a month or so that'll help the gold and silver and give you some other options that I think you'll find extremely exciting. But we're a few weeks away from announcing that and showing that. But we want to keep our commitment to you, and Steve and I have a phenomenal relationship. We think so much alike when it comes to the consumer and not what the standard road is out there, that it's always J.P. Morgan's fault. It's always Morgan Stanley's fault, or whoever it is that's gone long or short that makes it for a short time. Then you get this big jump. Nobody complained when silver jumped 92%, but that's what happens. That's the market. That's the way it works. But I'm telling you, when it jumps next time, it's going into the 30s. Then there'll be some resistance, and eventually we'll be back over 50. And I really don't think it's too far down the road. Maybe 2 or 3 years, but if you're buying something at $28 an ounce with premium and commission, and it gets to 50, that's a heck of a return in 3 years. It's, 20% a year, 25% a year compounded. So anyway, we're excited about that. The world is falling apart economically. We're going to see all kinds of currencies out there coming. We're going to see cryptos play a bigger part. We're going to see people come with gold-backed currency. We could get fixed prices very high, but there's so much to talk about. We can't do it all today, but we do want to thank you for your support and listening to SRS because you're getting great information. Steve, I can't look every time to read the articles and what's going on in the oil and gas business and what's going on and what other people are saying, not just people like me that are selling gold and silver for a living, but others that are doing it. So with that, we'll have another special report in about a month, and we'll have some new information for you. With a special report for SRS and Steve St. Angelo, this is Tom Cloud signing out.